Hola, ¿cómo estás? And bienvenidos to What's Good America. I'm just practicing for when we make it like real big time and we got to do like simulcast and all that. And then it's like some small Mexican dude pretending to be me and you. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a real situation. I just want to point that out. It's going to be real. When we get that big, they got some little dude named Salazar doing our voices. We coming. America, Mexico, South America, we coming. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for another fantastic episode of What's Good America. I am that chocolate Adonis, that almost birthday boy, because that's coming. I just told that show's gonna be live all by itself because you can't be drunk all day if you don't start in the morning. Just look out for that show. But I am that chocolate Adonis, that verbal wordsmithsman. I made that the word. I am he and he is I. I am C. Turner, and I'm here for the people. We here tonight, which is also me. We're here because we're brought to you by Body Armor. For when you're trying to shoot the #1 podcast in America, but you got to fuel up. And I got my right-hand man on my left-hand side, but he's still my left-hand man on my right-hand side. The sober, the physically fit, the looking quite svelte, the big-time man himself, the big game man himself, the one, the only, the man, the myth, the legend, the Saturday night of your week, James Big Game Madison Walton the third.
Man, that might be one of the best intros I've ever had on this show, man. I'll tell you what, America, this whole sober thing during these episodes, I'm just going to tell the truth. I'm going to tell the truth. Chris, I damn near fell asleep at 7 o'clock. I don't know what this sober thing is about when I'm trying to do an episode with you, but I was sitting there watching 30 Rock. Yes, my new obsession has been 30 Rock. Okay. And it's okay because my fiance already knows that I've had a crush on Tina Fey forever. Like it
happens.
But she's funny. And it's Tracy Jordan in his glory. It's Alec Baldwin before Trump impersonations, but kind of playing a spoof of that. I mean, it's a great show. And I was like, I ain't got nothing but time. It's Corona. I might as well watch a show from 2007 that predicted the foolishness we're in now. So it is what it is, America. I mean, that was so sober, it made sense. Like normally these intros, it's already gibberish, but you know, I just got to go ahead and go down to my shirt. And it's because of this. I'll never go whack on an old school track. That's Montel Jordan. Okay. But as Chris and I were trying to figure out what we wanted to talk about tonight, I mean, there was something that was on his mind. And, you know, it's something that's been on my mind. The fact that for the first time in a while, the Chicago Bears are actually somewhat in the news cycle when it comes to free agency. Hasn't been that way since the Khalil deal, which was mammoth in what we've, gave up to get him. And he's been a Pro Bowler, all pro since he's been with us. So we've loved it. It hasn't resulted in the success we'd like to have, no playoff wins, but we've been to the playoffs twice in the last 3 years. I respect the Miami Dolphins hat. This is not any sort of Bears are going to the Super Bowl proclamation, but I do want to talk about really what's going on in free agency, because I can't remember a time like this with what we're seeing at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not just talking like the golf, Stafford trade is one thing. Carson Wentz, like everybody that doesn't even know them knew that was coming. And I, matter of fact, predicted, if we went back and looked at shows, I really should watch us, Chris. But I remember saying his best fit was to go to the Colts, I think, months ago because of Frank Wright. I think we talked about that. When
they do what he needs.
And he's got Frank Wright. I mean, the guy knows how to get the best performer. Carson Wentz was the MVP of the league that year.
Very true.
Let's not, which kind of brings me, full circle to the whole Cam Newton thing. I don't know if that's going to be a give me a minute, but, brings me like, you know how hard it is to play at that type of level in that league? And that guy got them to be the number 1 seed, basically, before his knee went out. They were going to win that Super Bowl with or without Carson Wentz, with the way that defense was playing and the weapons they had and the way they were running the football. But I digress. I don't know what's going on, but one of my neighbors, just some sticky icky just happened. It just hit my nose. Well, you know, you sober now.
You taste everything.
I don't know if anybody in America saw my eyes go probably like, oh, what happened to him? Is he limitless now? But what really got me really kind of in a tizzy is this whole Russell Wilson thing that has really kind of come about in the last week.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm happy, to be honest with you. And I know you know the 4 teams he wants to go into. I know you know the 4 teams he wants to go to, but I'm happy for Russ, dude, because like Russ is that quarterback that you just the persona that he's giving off is that like, I'm just here for the team. I want to make sure I make the right plays. I'm gonna go back home to my wife, and then I'm gonna come to practice, and that's all I'm gonna do. Like, I won't be a problem. I'm glad he said something because, dude, like, Russ is what, 6'1"?
I think that's generous. I'd give him 5'11".
All right, so if you give him 5'11", that means he's 6'1" in the program. So Russ is, you know how the program goes.
Oh, you know
how
man.
It goes.
I mean, I didn't do too bad, Chris. I mean, I got listed at 6'4". I'm like 6'3". I that extra inch helped. But I carried 6'4".
I had 6'5", and then by my senior year of college, I was 6'6". So that program love is real. Anyway, with Russ, like it was, you didn't expect him to say anything. Like you knew it was getting bad, and he's like, all right, well, Russ gonna cook, Russ gonna do what he got to do, and Russ is gonna go through it. And then when he came out, I was like, man, listen, I need some help. Like, I'm getting hit from here, there, and everywhere. All this trust the system and play defense and everything, all that's nice and well and dandy. But when you getting hit every third play, that takes its toll, man. Russ is not a big guy. And for him to be as healthy as he's been is a miracle all by itself.
He's never missed a start. Like, white as kept, Russ has started every game of his career. So he's on pace right now to take a shot at Favre's streak.
Yeah.
I mean, he's played enough, and he does such a good job of keeping himself out of harm's way. It's weird to see what's happened, like the dichotomy of this league. And, you know, like I said,
I want you to say that word over again just to show off the education a little bit.
Oh, yeah, the dichotomy of this league, man. Dichotomy.
Love it.
You know, and when you've got at that position, when you've got so many interesting things happening, you got the situation in Houston, which is why I think it's only rightly so that you have your Dolphins hat on, because that's one of the teams, another guy that, you know, fits into this conversation, Deshaun Watson and everything that's going on there. And I mean, we know we're a couple news cycles late with it, so it's not real big news to our big football people here, but it's worth mentioning that the great Louis Riddick said that Deshaun Watson should come to the Bears. Basically, what everybody's saying is the Bears just need a quarterback and keep everything in place and then grab J.J. Watt, and then you're good. What's going on, man?
Anchor shut down.
Your anchor shut down? I'm still recording right now.
Well, keep going. Mine says it's trying to connect, but keep running. I can hear you, though.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that just threw me off because, like,
my bad.
Now it went off. So,
live show, folks.
Yeah, it looks like we might have to make an announcement here on this one, boy. It's might be time, dude. I don't know.
We'll get to that point.
But either way, I think really just truly with everything that's going on, like it's just I've never seen so many star quarterbacks throwing Roethlisberger. And they've got to have a meeting because they owe that dude $41 million if they want him to come back.
He's willing to restructure, though.
Well, he's willing to restructure. I mean, look at this can of Red Bull. Okay? That is our unofficial sponsor for tonight. You know what I mean? Because obviously, for some reason, alcohol just puts me more and more awake when we do this show. So shout out to our unofficial sponsor, Red Bull, for giving me wings.
Red
Balls. And shout out to Dave Chappelle for getting his show back.
I got my show back.
So with that, I think really what it is for me is that I think we're just at a point, man, where the NFL owners are coming to that realization that they don't run their teams anymore.
Not at all.
They're trying everything in their power to do it. But this league is run by quarterbacks. And when that starts to happen, like look at what Carolina's doing. They're talking about trading a generational player to get Deshaun Watson. Miami got their quarterback, but they're like, this dude's better. And we've got the defense. Look at the Colts. The Colts said, we know they want to get rid of this guy, but we're not going to give up first-round draft picks. We're going to help the guy we want. We get this guy. It's no disrespect, because I like Jacoby Brissett, but Wentz is better than him.
Yep.
Yeah, I said that. I'm not ashamed to say that.
I agree with you.
The football doesn't lie. Go look at 33-7, and they were 12-3 when he got hurt. When his O-line is healthy, you got a decent run game, and it's not like they had like this crazy ground game. Ajayi came on late. They had LeGarrette Blount, playoff LeGarrette, playoff LG. Playoff LGB, man. LeGarrette Blount, the GOAT of the postseason. That dude won 3 straight Super Bowls. Quiet as kept. Quiet as kept. And won 3 out of 4 Super Bowls, I think it is. Anyway, and I think that's what you're seeing. Houston can say everything they want about Deshaun's our guy. Deshaun ain't got to take you paid him guaranteed money. He's good.
Yep.
He knows his leverage. He's not playing for y'all. Y'all didn't do what you said you were going to do. Now, I'm not saying that he's right or wrong in that, but this whole era of you going to tell me one thing and do another, that's what happened with Russ, Chris. Schotty was his guy. He liked Brian Schottenheimer. Brian Schottenheimer was there because Russ wanted the ball. Russ knows what his legacy is, right? His legacy is the defense won him a championship. Russ gets no credit for that. And to be honest, that's what happens when you play with generational defenses. I don't see anybody here talking about Trent Dilfer or Jim McMahon. They didn't even talk about Tom Brady until he won the 4th Super Bowl. It was just the fact Tom Brady looked like Derek Jeter, except, you know what I'm saying, that's what Tom Brady was Derek Jeter. When Derek Jeter's early years. Like Jeter was just there, and he was the marketable guy.
Right.
He put up good numbers, but Jeter wasn't even the best player at his position. He never has been. He's just the captain.
The captain.
Yeah. It took Tom Brady had to go win an MVP, and then it was like, oh, this dude could sling it.
I'll say this about the quarterbacks going on right now. Like with Big Ben, Ben knows it can't end like this. Like, so I'd be willing to restructure this, that, and the third, even though maybe it should, like, honestly, he should have hung it up 2 years ago, honestly. But Ben knows, all right, I can't leave this taste in everybody's mouth. I can't go out as an all-time great Steeler and leave like this pile of crap on the field. So I get Ben. With Russ, I get it as well. Yeah, your Super Bowl is tied to one of the greatest, top 10 defense of all time.
I'd say top 5, dude. Like
I can't argue that.
That's easily top 5. And depending on how you want to argue it, I mean, look, you're talking to me, the Steelers of the 70s.
Yep.
85 Bears, basically the 80s Bears, 2000s Ravens.
Yes.
The Giants.
That's why.
The 80s.
And that Giants team that beat Brady.
So, I mean, like, and then you got what the Legion of Boom did, back-to-back Super Bowls,
yeah.
And basically, so, I mean, like, it all depends on how you're looking at it, because obviously you could talk about the Niners of the 80s. They were pretty loaded early 90s. Basically, any defense that Deion Sanders was on in the 90s that won a Super Bowl can be in top 5 consideration, just off the fact that Deion Sanders was on it. And when he was on it, they won Super Bowls. You could even throw in the Steelers of the Palomalu era as well, too. Those were great defenses. Harrison.
That's what I'm saying. They're definitely a top 10, and you could push your top 5. It just depends on how you really want to.
That might be a topic, dude. Like, that would be a fun one to do. You know what I mean? Like,
I'm with it.
Like, just I would say throw out the 85 Bears and throw out the 2002, 2001, somewhere there, Ravens, and talk about all of the great defense. I just thought about one right there, Tampa Bay's defense. So
I was just thinking about that.
So, I mean, sorry, let's get back on track.
Oh, so what I was saying, so Big Ben can't leave a bad taste in everybody's mouth. Russ, nobody expected that, and I'm super proud that he's like he's flexing the muscle. Like, dude, like I get it. Marshawn's gone. The Legion of Boom is not what it used to be. I've been here. I'm the face. So you need to take care of the face that runs the place. Like, I'm the most marketable guy you've ever had. Because if you think about it, they didn't market Marshawn. Marshawn just happened to be a marketable guy on the Seahawks. Marshawn was just being himself. So Marshawn being Marshawn has nothing really to do with the Seahawks. Russ, when you think of Russ, is dangerous with like the 12th man and all this other Seattle, like he's tied to them now. So honestly, you either better take care of him or get whatever you can get for him.
And I think that's what's getting ready to happen. And I think when you've got teams like Chicago that are in the position they're in, you got a GM who, let's just be perfectly honest, has been pissing me off for a long time. Like, seriously. We wouldn't even be in this situation if he would have picked the right quarterback to begin with. He was there.
Let me pose this to you.
The Mahomes, like, everybody gets a pass on Mahomes. Okay,
sure,
like,
I agree. That
you get a pass on that. You know, he was down there 8-5. He was doing some phenomenal things.
But it's Texas Tech.
Nobody saw 50 touchdowns his first year starting, winning MVP. Nobody saw that.
No, you can't
except for Brett Beach and Andy Reid. That's who saw it, and that's who gets all the credit. They did that, and they props to them. But Deshaun Watson was on a silver platter right there.
Let me pose this to you real quick. Russ wants out, right? And I'm not even going to bring the Texans into this one because it will be asinine if the Texans did this. So Russ wants out.
Mm-hmm.
You sitting in Duval County right now. You are Shad Khan. Are you willing to trade that number 1 pick of, let's call it a spade, of Trevor Lawrence, Sunshine? Are you willing to trade what's possibly and get noted as a generational quarterback, which that term gets thrown around a lot, but a generational, supposedly surefire, can't miss, number 1 draft pick, organization changing rookie for Danger Russ?
Well, I absolutely would offer the pick. Here's why. Because as we've seen, you and I now, when you're in your mid-30s, I'm not going, I'm going to keep you right where you need to be. I'm in my late 30s. I have seen a lot of football, especially in this past happy era, okay? There was a time when Warren Moon and Jim Kelly and Dan Marino were only guys throwing the ball 30 times a game. You know what I'm saying? Yep. To now. When you think of quarterbacks you would trust with the ball in their hands, in the fourth quarter, you're down by 4, you got 3.5 minutes, you got to go 75 yards, you got a timeout. Name the quarterbacks that you feel like we're going to win this game.
That are playing right now?
Yeah, they're playing right now.
Brady, Ron, Dangerous.
There's your answer. And I'll throw in Patty Mahomes there as well. Patrick Mahomes. Sorry, Patty. Patrick. See, because I'm not drunk. He got me calling you out of names. I'm trying to have you on the show 1-5. Sorry, Patrick. And I don't want Mama Mahomes coming after me. You throw Patrick Mahomes in there as well. I throw Deshaun Watson in there because in his young time, the dude has done some clutch things. That's just not me going oh God, please, one or the other. It's just the truth. I would throw Ben in there. Ben came back and won a Super Bowl. You can't shit on that dude like that. Like he didn't take right down the field.
This Ben can't do that though.
Well, he also didn't have 4-2-5 Santonio. He doesn't have, different times, different team.
But I'm saying this is I don't only reason normally all time, yes, I would count Ben, but
Shard Mendenhall, Chi-Town's finest in the backfield. Look, man, all I'm saying is yes, I still would take Ben 3.5 minutes. I'm saying in that scenario, there is a small list of guys. And the point I was getting to is that Russ was the third name out of your mouth. And Russ would be the third name out of most people's mouths because he has done it. He has done it on a multiple occasions. Here's a guy quiet as kept. You know who also can do it? He just never really has a good team, which I think is going to be a scary situation. I think Matthew Stafford and with the Rams, I think it's going to really surprise some people how good Matthew Stafford is.
Right now, they're going to be a 2 seed in the NFC.
Listen, if Russ is getting up out of that division,
it's his.
And Cliff Kingsbury, after drafting D-Hop, and Cliff Kingsbury hadn't realized I need to throw him the ball 15 times a game so my team can win. Because we go look at the wins they had, D-Hop had big games. And Cliff still wants to be this guy. Well, I'm just, and I like Cliff. You know what I'm saying? I hope to see him out in Arizona. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my way there at some point. We hanging out in Arizona. You know what I'm saying? So it'd be cool to run into Cliff, have a beer with Cliff, man. Talk the X's and O's, be a quality control coach. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it takes, Chris.
Whatever
it takes. But for me, I go, that's the best player on your team. And when you're the best player on your team, you make sure that you run the offense through the best player on your team. And he ain't figured that out yet.
No.
Matthew Stafford is Jared Goff without the interceptions. Stafford throws picks because he has not had a defense in some time that could they are loaded on defense. Messing around trying to find a way to get 99 there with the other 99.
That's terrifying.
And I want to get to him in a little bit because I think this guy honestly could swing the entire league because he's hungry. He wants a ring. So we'll talk about him in a second. But Russ leaving that division is huge because if he leaves, then what are you going to do? Are you going to go find you like a Tyrod Taylor to hold the fort down? What draft pick are you getting with that? Is Mac Jones going to be your guy? Because, depending on who they trade with, Russ, you're getting a first-round pick for Russ.
Right.
That's it. Russ is one of them guys. It could be that type of haul. Because if I was Seattle, if I go, you know what? At least with this guy, he's healthy. The skill level around him is young. DK Metcalf's 24 years old. Tyler Lockett's not even 30 yet. They don't even know who their running back is. I don't think they're going to re-sign Chris Carson. So they might go in. Najee Harris might be there. Like, we don't know what they're going to do. There's some good running backs coming out of here.
There's a lot. Those Carolina kids.
So there's some guys now. And then you got some guys on benches. Like Mike Davis has earned himself an opportunity to start in this league again, doing what he did in Carolina. Like, there's some guys that can go tote that rock and catch it. What about Chase Edmonds down there in at some point, Seattle can, they can do some things, but when you don't have that guy, Russ is that guy. So,
dude, I don't disagree with you. I feel like it'll be real interesting if Pete Carroll and that management team reached out to Shad Khan like, hey, listen, if y'all want to, we will. I think that'll be real interesting. But to hit the rest of the quarterbacks kind of, and not briefly, but the Dak situation is interesting.
There's another guy.
I don't speak ill of, that's a lie. That was about to be a lie. I was about to say I don't speak ill of many people. That's a lie. I talk shit about everybody. So I don't normally talk about the Cowboys too often because they're not worth mentioning.
Plus, you don't need to because Skip Bayless does it enough for everybody in the sports world.
So you can't. I don't understand the Dak situation. Like, you can't let your guy go. Period.
They're going to franchise him again. They've been blowing that, Chris. They've been blowing that since Jump Street. If they'd have signed that dude to his 30-some-odd million, Ben's cap number is $41 million. Tom Brady is going to make $25 million next year. They are going to redo the deal and find a way to guarantee, like, Tom, we're going to give you the incentives that can guarantee you the $25 to $30 million. Like, they know what, there are organizations that know what I do. I have so much respect for Jerry Jones as a businessman. I do. But I'm telling you something. I was talking to one of the most egoless champions I've ever known just recently on the phone. I want to shout out Coach O'Neill. I actually gave him a call. Just holler at him because I had to let him know, man, I know you in season, but we still gonna need your expert, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't need you on the show. Like, I need Coach O's vision because, he definitely can take us some places like he did on last time. And I look at him and how egoless he was when it came to us. He didn't want the credit. He didn't need the credit. All he needed us to do was win because all he cared about was the money. And that's what I don't get about Jerry. Jerry got this team because it was about the money. And then Jimmy got the credit.
Jimmy had to go.
I mean, Jimmy's not even in I think Jerry did everything in his power to make sure that he went into the Hall of Fame first before Jimmy did. I got respect for Jerry Jones, but I don't put nothing past any of these NFL owners. The only guy I can't speak for is Tepper because Tepper's new. You can't really get a read on Tepper. He's only owned the Panthers for a couple years.
Right. And
Shad Khan, I do have some respect for, just because I think he does do the right things. He says the right things. And I haven't seen anybody in the organization complain about him. I mean, obviously Tom Coughlin in this generation ain't gonna work. Like, Tom Coughlin, we're the last people that Tom could work on is us. Like, it ain't, not as Coach O would say, not in this microwave. This is the microwave generation. You can't.
Dude, to speak on Shad Khan, like, I speak super highly of Shad Khan, because he's not just in Jacksonville, just owning a team and then lives in LA or some crap like that. Like, the man lives in the city. The man donates money back to the Boys and Girls Club. The man is outside of like the Jacksonville Jaguars. The man is investing in the city. So and I'm not even a Jaguars fan. I'm just from the city. So
you are a hater, which makes no sense to me.
Dude, listen, the Jaguars showed up. I was 11 years old. And the team down the road in Tampa was the Buccaneers. And they still had like the creamsicle jerseys. But then that team a little bit.
They were not good.
I do like that hat though. Anyway, but the team down in Coral Gables in Miami and like in North Miami, like those Dolphins at that time, we had Daniel Constantine Marino Sr.
Go.
Throwing for 4,000 or 5,000 yards, and like it was a pass happy offense. It was everything football is now, because it was exciting, it was fast, they were putting up numbers, receivers are getting numbers, like it was a good deal. So I was 11. I'm not switching over to the damn upstart team that's downtown. No. But anyway.
You know what's crazy about that is the fact that you know how good they were when they first started too? Like, quiet as kept. That was a very good football team.
Fred Taylor, Tony Baselli, Mark Brunell, like they had some guys.
Keenan McCardell,
Jimmy Smith,
Natron Means.
That wasn't the best version of Natron though.
Hey, Natron was knocking out Shannon Sharp and them boys though. Them dudes was an AFC Championship game.
Anywho,
shoot, with Tom Coughlin coaching, like shout out Tom Coughlin, man.
He's a damn good coach if you're willing to buy in.
Yeah, he's not built for this generation, man.
Like, no, not the Instagram. No,
yeah, it's not him. So I mean, I think when it comes down to it, man, when we're talking about these quarterbacks, owners, y'all need to wake up, man, because if you can't even keep a Russell Wilson happy.
Oh, no.
Or you got him at the point where he's like, so y'all just didn't even come to me. And that's what is happening. Like these guys, there's certain guys, and I hate to say this, America, especially with the inequalities and things that we do see, but sports can be a microcosm of the world, but sometimes it's not. And there's certain people that just have cachet. Russell Wilson is one of them guys. So if you get rid of somebody he likes and you didn't talk to him about it or bring him in, and he's the guy that DK Metcalf, I love him. He's not who's selling those tickets.
No.
Lockett, I love him. He's not the one that's selling them tickets. Bobby Wagner, I love him. He's not the one selling tickets. Them 3 jerseys is what's selling them tickets. They coming to see him do his Houdini shit he does in the pocket, where he's ducking out of stuff, and he's keeping like he is a fan's dream because he looks like a normal person doing Superman things.
I agree.
And that's Seattle to me in a nutshell. They're the city in the Northwest. Nobody even really knew where Seattle was. Once the Supersonics were gone, once Ken Griffey retired, everybody forgot where Seattle was again.
The city got pointless. Honestly got pointless, especially the Black America.
And then that Legion of Boom came and it's like, well, now we know it is. And then Russ kept it alive because it's Russ. He's such a good dude. And now he's dating one of the dopest females on the planet. And now they're married. And now they got kids. And Russ is the dope. Like Russ is touching every heartstring in America. We love him. You know what I'm saying? You can't say nothing bad about Russell Wilson in my household.
No, mine either.
Matter of fact, all you can say is, man, Russ didn't have a good game today.
And leave it alone.
That's it. That's not the. And I had the conversation because me and him were talking about him all year. I said, man, he just doesn't look like Russ. That's where Russell Wilson got to. So I will end with this. at least on this part, because then I want to touch on a little bit more on this football stuff before we get on out of here, who I think the free agent is going to swing it, as I am the guy that called Antonio Brown basically making or breaking wherever he went. So let me help you guys early in February when nobody's not even paying attention, and we can run this tape back. I want to bring up J.J. Watt, and I'm going to tell you why. And I think you are like, finally, this guy's going to acknowledge some damn defense on this show.
I appreciate that.
Which you seem to not understand, that there was no bigger fan of you and the torturing threesome of the Mike and Chris show.
MCM, baby. We your real Man Crush Monday.
Like, I loved our secondary. Loved Doff. Loved Fitz, Muhammad, EB together. Loved the 10 version of it. When you got to have the cousins playing together. Shout out my man, Tough Johnson. You know what I'm saying? I loved those 5 guys. Phenomenal. Played well together. Cared about each other. Wanted to win. No egos. But I've said it on this show. I want to shout out James Terry. Just because we was hollering at each other on Facebook. So shout out JT. And I'm going to tell it for what it is. And I always like to start IFL stuff. There's no greater defensive line that I've ever seen than the 3 of you guys when you were healthy and beating people up. I've never seen anything like that. And that is no disrespect to the Nate Fluids of the world, the Leaf Johnsons in his heyday, Corey Johnson when he was healthy. That front 3 was tough. I had one in Bloomington that was really good. We had a young Rock Crable. We had my man EJ. We had Eric Johnson. We had Triggs in there. That was a good one. I saw a good one down there. I mean, I've seen some good ones. But you, Bays, and Landry, I had never seen any of you guys were animals, dude. And what it parallels me to is this. There are certain teams that have really good defensive lines right now. And this guy is a flat out free agent. Not a, we got a trade to get him.
Nope.
And I'm going to say it right now. Depending on what contender he goes to, that team will be no less than in the championship game of their conference.
Want me to throw something scary at you real quick?
Yeah, if you say something about him going to LA, you might as well forget about it. I might as well just go move to LA and be a Rams fan.
I wasn't even going with that.
That would be the scariest thing I've ever seen.
You sure about that?
I mean, that or him going, where do you think?
So Shaq Barrett for the Bucks.
He's a free agent.
Is a free agent. What's stopping them from saying, you know what? All right, Shaq, we don't want to give you the money that you probably deserve, but I can pay probably just a little bit less to get a J.J. Watt. And then you got JPP and Vita Vea in the middle.
Now, I'm going to take your what if, because that's a good one. This is what they really could do. They can franchise Shaq Barrett.
Yep.
See, and this is what I've been saying from the get-go. And when they signed Antonio Brown, I think Chris Godwin is a very good wide receiver. I really do.
Expendable.
I really do. But there's a reason why Tom Brady said, go get this guy. Because at some point, Mike's already given money back. Mike's like, I'm good. I got my signing bonus.
Yep.
We can re-incentivize me. Me and Tom will talk. We'll put my numbers fair. Probably make it 70 and 1,000. Mike had 13 touchdowns. So he'll probably incentivize it in touchdowns that way. Like, I'm good. Like, I got the goal line fades. Listen to me. Shaq Barrett, JPP, Vita Vea, JJ Watt. Because if it's me, I'm franchising Shaq Barrett.
Oh, yeah, I'm not letting you go.
Chris Godwin is the one that's going to have to decide, do you want to play within this core or go be a superstar? Get superstar money. And if I was Chris Godwin, I'd go take the money because he's got his ring. there's not enough balls to go around. Because somebody's going to lead in receptions, somebody's going to lead in yards, and somebody's going to lead in touchdowns. That's how that shit works. And if the three of you guys can't agree on that type of shit, it never works. Trust me, because I knew how it worked. Because I've been a part of 3 different, very radically different receiving corps in my lifetime. I played in one receiving corps where that was the way it was. My old 17. Reggie Gray, Glenn Johnson, who were way better wide receivers than me at that point. Flat out, Chris, they were better. Glenn was coming in and out of Dolphins camp. Big Ten starter stud. Reggie, as you know, and we all know, Reggie Gray.
Big play. First of all, you say his name.
Well, I mean, that's how he is in my, like, first of all, I got Reggie on speed dial. Like, don't.
You say his name.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to have Reggie on the show. I'm gonna clear some stuff up.
I can call his name.
Okay,
correctly.
I will say big play, Reggie Gray. Okay, I will do that. But see, I can call him Reggie. Okay, like I can do that. I have that cash. You gotta call him big play. All right. Don't make me. You know what? I'm gonna have Reggie on the show. You didn't just start it.
Reggie
Okay?
Gray.
He came out here, man. Reggie came and hung out with us. You know what I'm saying? Met the missus, was happy for me that I finally figured my life out because, you know, last time me and Reggie really hung around, so I was like 23. So I was a mess, basically. Reggie's flying in and out of A1 tryouts, and I'm over here like, hey, Reggie, meet me at, I don't know, whatever the equivalent of the West was. That's what I was doing in Bloomington. What was it? Daddy-O's. Meet me at Daddy-O's, Reggie. He's like, dude, I'm going back to Chicago, man. I got a job, man. Get your shit together, man. We the same age. What the hell's wrong with you?
Grow up.
Reggie, I'm over here balling on this $200. Come on, man. Come take these Jaeger bombs with me. Oh, my God. Jaeger bombs. Bro.
Oh, boy, I got some stories for Jaeger bombs.
Bruh. Listen. I'm so glad this generation ain't on Jaeger bombs, dude.
It's White Claws now, baby.
I'm glad they on White Claws right now, man. Dude, we can't have them. Their hearts beating this fast right now, man. Be heart attacks all over the place, bro. Our hearts can handle that shit. They can't. This generation can't handle Jaeger bombs. Like,
I might take a Jaeger bomb tomorrow night. Jesus Christ! Just
hey, listen. Like real talk. Is hyped up all these TikTok videos. Do you know what type of you know what type of TikTok and Instagram shit if we'd have had that in 07 with the way we were wilding? Come on, bro.
Can you imagine a Tough Johnson in 2008, 2009 with the Instagram or TikTok?
Well, yes, I can, because let me tell you something. That dude is one of my all-time favorites. And 08 Tough, that was an angry. He was on a mission, and he was not letting nobody stand in the way of his money.
I'll even say this.
That dude was ferocious, bro.
When I was making this much money in A1 and getting passed around in NFL and passed around in the CFL and all this other crap, when I had this much money to my name, and you giving me Instagram Live and TikTok, and I was good on Facebook because it was still called The Facebook, and all my family was still on there. So like it was like, I know I don't need to do anything on the Facebook. But you give me options? You should have seen my MySpace page, first of all.
Oh, Lord. Hey, listen, I can still queue up my MySpace. I look at it once in a while. Just to see the dumb shit I was on, man. That's the only thing. Hey, like, I get we got cover photos and that's everything, man. But remember them background drops? You had to, put the code in.
My background was like the Transformers one day, then it was like a bunch of other crap the next. Like,
hey, remember when you could do the background song too? So when your page came up, something would just be bumping. I know for a fact I probably had like a song from the Drought 2, either from Dedication 2 or the Drought 3. It was something because I was Lil Wayne'd out.
Dude, I had JT Money and Poison Clan as like my backdrop song.
Bro, JT. You talking about who the
Exactly. I had JT Money as my
who they trying to get up in my crew? All right. What? Yo, Yo. Oh my God. So, like I was saying, man, Jesus, that was a great tangent. Way to go, James. Just look at all these other D lines, man. Like, obviously, I'm throwing our name, and that's why this shirt is on for this segment. We're not on this top list, but JJ's heart and soul plays in Chicago. And she's over here like, hey, you and Khalil, not a bad look. Go ahead, put Khalil and Watt on the same side. Or you know what? Flex JJ. Jay's like, oh, I could play some end on this team? Bruh, let me get some one-on-ones. Them long ass arms. Oh, wait, I can drop into coverage? Oh, wait, they got Nagy? He might call some plays for me on offense. I mean, JJ. Dude, JJ Watt will mess around and be the MVP again because he'll mess around and catch 8 touchdowns for the Bears. Be in all sorts of formations and shit.
Dude,
but you know, that's the homer in me. If he goes to the Rams,
that's terrifying.
Just wrap it up. You not doing nothing with that. Leonard Floyd will lead the league in sacks.
Who you gonna double?
Aaron Donald. You still gonna double Aaron Donald?
That's it.
Well, you can't double everybody. It's only 5 of them.
Exactly. So unless you go in a 9-man front. Like unless you go in some Navy old school like Nebraska, like it's 1-man routes.
Like that's so that's the thing. So you go there, you look at that. What are some dope ass things? Look at the Chiefs. What do the Chiefs go? You know what? Let's put him and Chris Jones together. JJ, you chasing rings. You see offensively, we got it. What if we do that? Look at Buffalo. Buffalo's got a great defense. Add him to that.
Brother. Like he can go and play with his little brother and honestly push Pittsburgh up.
He goes to Pittsburgh. Like that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. Like, I get it. I'm the guy that drafted Bryce. Yeah. I will always be the guy that drafted Bryce Love. I understand that.
Yeah.
I get that. Whatever.
Whatever.
Okay? Brian Pace drafted Mitch Trubisky and he's getting paid millions of dollars. I don't know why I'm getting obliterated for it because I also drafted Patrick Mahomes. That's all I'm saying. Don't disrespect me, America, because you saw me live make a mistake. Okay, I felt the pressure. It's my bad. I'll take it. It's my mess up. But what I'm telling you is this: when I tell you that a player will change the league, I am not wrong. I am never wrong about this. I might draft the wrong guy, but I know who can make an impact. What if J.J. Watt went to Miami?
I'm happy.
On that defense.
Yeah, that's what you're going.
With how good that defense is carrying some sort of crazy interception streak right now, which is caused by what? Pressure. So they're already getting good pressure to begin with. Xavier Howard got 10 picks. Shout out Xavier Howard, dude. He's been playing some good ball last few years.
We're on the right path.
So that's JJ, I feel like you needed more time, but I'm just telling you the truth. That guy right there, he's gonna swing the balance. And I want to purely make sure that I'm putting this in context. The team has to be a James Walton considered contender. So let me name those teams. If JJ Watt goes to one of the following: New Orleans, Tampa Bay, Chicago, San Francisco. Yes, the Niners are still pretty decent. Yeah. All things considered. Is there anybody else in the NFC that defensively Nope, that might be pretty much it in the NFC. But in the AFC, Kansas City, Buffalo, Pittsburgh, Indianapolis. Ooh. Oh, you know who I forgot about? I forgot about punk ass Green Bay in the NFC. I can't disrespect Green Bay like that.
Yeah, because that's home.
Yeah. So that's his home team too, and they obviously have done some good things, even though they just fired their defensive coordinator. Go figure. Yeah. So but yeah. I digress. Miami. Who else? Tennessee.
Wherever he goes, it's going
Baltimore. I mean, there's some, the AFC is loaded with defenses, dude. Like, there's Shit, Cleveland. Him and Miles, like, look, man.
Let's just go.
So JJ Watt, I'm looking forward to see where you're going. Because there's a good chance if it's the right team, I'm drafting that defense. Because somebody's going off, whether it's a DB or you or a defensive lineman on your team. Somebody's going to end up with 17, 18 sacks. So that's how I feel about that, Chris. I mean, I feel like we basically got everything off our chest I needed to get off.
Oh, yeah, I'm good with it on my end.
So I guess it's going to be time for a wardrobe change, America. And we're going to figure out this audio thing. We're going to try it again. If not, we're going to have an announcement to make when we come right back to you on this one. So the question that you guys are really asking is, how can James have that full bottle of Screwball, shout out Screwball, and not drink the delicious peanut butterness? It's because I made a promise that I will make it to St. Patty's Day week before I have a sip of alcohol, America. And I struggled today because they was just out there just drinking White Claws and Trulies in my face on the golf course. And I shot like a 111 because I'm trash. And it's very hard when you drive the ball 290 yards and you have a great shot from like 115 yards away and then you shank it into the sand and not chug an alcohol beverage. You know how hard that was for me, America? But shout out Screwball. I'm not drinking you. We love you. Unofficial sponsors. But the other question that you would ask mainly is the one that we ask you every single time. Let them know what it is, Chris.
That question is, what's good, America?
We'll be back.